The Obsidian archive floated in the void between galaxies, a structure so ancient that even the eldest civilizations spoke of it only in myth. It was a perfect black cube, 3 kilometers on each side, absorbing all light that touched its surface. For millennia, it had remained dormant, rejecting every attempt at contact, every probe, every signal sent by the hundreds of spacefaring species that had discovered it. Lisa Chen stood on the bridge of the research vessel Prometheus, her fingers dancing across holographic displays as she monitored the archive's readings. The 28-year-old xenoarchaeologist had spent 5 years studying this enigma, and like everyone before her, she had found nothing but silence. Still no response, Lewis Morrison announced from the communication station, his voice carrying a familiar note of frustration. The veteran signal analyst had been Lisa's partner on this expedition for 3 years, and the archive had tested both their patience and their friendship. The Korathi fleet tried again yesterday, Lisa said, pulling up the data logs. They broadcast their entire historical database in 17 different formats. The archive didn't even acknowledge the transmission. Lewis leaned back in his chair, running a hand through his graying hair. Same thing the Vex Collective did last month, and the Draconians before them. Every major civilization in the galaxy has thrown their best at this thing, and it just sits there like a cosmic paperweight. Lisa walked to the observation window, staring at the perfect blackness of the archive. Somewhere in that structure lay answers to questions the galaxy had been asking for eons. Who built it? What knowledge did it contain? And most frustratingly, why did it reject every species that approached it? What if we're thinking about this wrong? Lisa said suddenly, turning to face Lewis. Every civilization has been trying to prove their worth, their sophistication. They send their greatest achievements, their most advanced mathematics, their proudest moments. Lewis raised an eyebrow. And that's wrong because maybe the archive isn't looking for achievements. Maybe it's looking for something more fundamental. Lisa's eyes lit up with the excitement of a new theory. What if it's looking for a specific signature? A specific voice? We've tried every linguistic pattern in the database, Lewis reminded her. Quantum encodings, gravitational pulses, neutrino beams, not those voices, Lisa interrupted. I mean actual human voice. Analog sound waves, the most basic form of communication. Lewis stared at her for a long moment, then laughed. You want to talk to an ancient alien megastructure? Lisa, there's no air in space. Sound can't travel in a vacuum. The archive has a field generator, Lisa said, pulling up the structural scans. Right here. We detected it years ago but assumed it was defensive. What if it's meant to sustain an atmosphere for communication? That's insane. So is a 3-kilometer cube that's older than most stars and rejects everyone who tries to contact it. Lisa was already moving to the equipment locker. We're suiting up. I'm going out there. 2 hours later, Lisa and Lewis floated in the void 50 meters from the archive's surface. The field generator hummed to life as they approached, exactly as Lisa had predicted, creating a thin envelope of atmosphere around a small section of the cube's surface. I can't believe I let you talk me into this, Lewis said through his helmet radio, though his voice carried more curiosity than complaint. Lisa deactivated her radio and spoke directly into the thin atmosphere. Her voice sounded strange, muffled by the unusual composition of the generated air, but it carried. Hello, my name is Lisa Chen. I am human from the planet Earth. Nothing happened. Lewis was about to speak when Lisa held up a hand. She took a breath and continued, her voice stronger now. I don't come bearing achievements or conquest. I don't represent the pinnacle of civilization. I'm just curious. We're just curious. That's what humans do. We see something we don't understand and we need to know why. The archive remained silent, but Lisa felt something shift in the atmosphere around her. The pressure changed subtly, as if the structure itself was listening. We make mistakes, Lisa continued, her voice raw with honesty. We've fought wars, destroyed our own world a dozen times over and nearly wiped ourselves out. But we kept learning. We kept asking questions. We reached for the stars not because we were perfect, but because we were desperate to be better than we were. A low vibration traveled through the thin atmosphere, a sound so deep that Lisa felt it in her bones. We've failed more times than we've succeeded, she said, her voice cracking with emotion. But every failure taught us something. Every question led to 10 more. We're not the strongest species or the smartest or the oldest, but we never stopped wondering. We never stopped, The archive's surface rippled like liquid obsidian. Lewis grabbed Lisa's arm, pulling her back instinctively, but she held her ground. The black surface peeled away in geometric patterns, revealing beneath it a structure of crystalline light that pulsed with ancient power. A voice emerged from the archive, not through their radios, but directly into the atmosphere, resonating with harmonics that shouldn't have been possible. It was a sound that predated language itself, yet both humans understood it perfectly. Voice pattern recognized. Genetic marker confirmed. Neural architecture verified. Species. Classification Homo sapiens. Designation. Creator descendants access granted. Lisa's mind reeled. What? That's impossible. Humanity couldn't have. Archive systems initializing, the voice continued. This facility was constructed by your ancestors 4.2 million years ago. Genetic diversity protocol initiated. Seeders, dispersed to preserve the line. You are the first to return. The crystalline structure opened further, revealing corridors of light that stretched impossibly deep into the cube's interior. Data streams began flowing into the Prometheus's systems, overwhelming their databases with information. Lewis floated beside Lisa, his voice barely a whisper. Are you seeing this? The genetic data, Lisa, it's showing human DNA markers scattered across 100 different species. The Vex, the Draconians, even the Korathi, they all have fragments of human genes. We didn't create them, Lisa breathed, understanding flooding through her. We came first. Something happened to Earth millions of years ago, and our ancestors, they seeded the galaxy. Every intelligent species out here has a piece of humanity in them. Correct, the archive confirmed. Catastrophic event imminent in origin system. Survivors constructed this. Archive. Genetic material dispersed to ensure. Continuity. Evolutionary paths diverged only. Pure lineage could reclaim archive. The implications were staggering. Humanity wasn't just another species among many. They were the source. Every civilization in the galaxy owed their existence to ancient humans who had faced extinction and chose to seed the stars rather than surrender to oblivion. Why didn't you respond to the others? Lisa asked. There are descendants too, genetic. Drift exceeded recognition parameters. Voice print degraded. Across evolutionary branches, only origin species. Maintains vocal signature, only you could. Speak the words required. Admission of imperfection. Acknowledgement of failure. Commitment to growth. These are the markers of true humanity. Lisa looked at Lewis, and in his eyes she saw the same overwhelming mixture of pride, responsibility, and terror. They had just inherited the galaxy's greatest secret, and with it, knowledge that would reshape every civilization's understanding of their own origins. The archive pulsed once more, and new corridors opened, revealing wonders that would take lifetimes to explore. Humanity had come home to a legacy they never knew existed, called back by nothing more than an honest voice in the void.